The air here first at 11 o'clock tonight. Louisville firefighters in the snow tonight responding to this home on Thames Avenue just off Taylorsville Road at about 8:30 tonight. Crews on the scene said they had a frozen fire hydrant that needed to be thawed first in order to get to the fire. It took about 30 minutes to bring the fire under control. One person living in the residence and called in the fire using the neighbor's phone. Firefighters say the damage to the home means that person living there will be sheltered next with the American Red Cross. And hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Doug Proffitt. Our coverage continues from the winter storm part 2. Folks in Kentuckiana seeing anywhere from 1 to 5 inches of snow on top of the nearly foot we've already had on the ground. On the WHAS11 night team, we have team coverage of the heavy, wet snow tonight. Clarice Shaley is back in New Albany. For the first time, we are hearing from the mayor there as residents have demanded answers about the poor snow removal and their ability to clear the roads. Alexandra Goldberg's in the Jacobs neighborhood, where a temporary emergency shelter opened tonight after the city stopped a local restaurant from housing the homeless overnight. But first, meteorologist Matt Breland is in for Ben Pine tonight. And Matt, has the snow stopped for the overnight hours?
Doug, it's what we've been wanting to hear for the entire day. We are now seeing those final flurries making their way across Kentuckiana. Here's how we're looking right now on satellite and radar. You'll notice that we are finally seeing a majority of that storm make its way further towards the east. So here's a closer look. For us here at home, we're still seeing just a few of those very small light flurries, still closer towards the Louisville Metro and just a bit closer there towards Frankfort. But as we go into, I'd say, the next hour, we are going to say goodbye to these snow showers. So this is still looking like another cold night ahead for us. We're going to remain in a quiet pattern. This winter storm warning still in place though until Saturday at 7 a.m. They're keeping this in place because a lot of the snowfall is not going to melt. It's still going to cause some hazards on those roadways, and that is still going to lead to a bit of a holdup. As a matter of fact, our traffic tracker right here is showing that we are continuing to see some slowdowns on those roadways. I-264 towards the east, still some holdup whether you're headed northbound or southbound. There are definitely some slow spots. The Waterston Expressway continuing to stay backed up as well. I-64 in near downtown, also a bit slow there as well. All the details about your winter weather forecast coming up here in just a few short minutes.
All right, very good update. Thank you there, Matt. Well, news since 6. The city allows an emergency homeless shelter in a church, and it comes after they told a local restaurant it could no longer house homeless people overnight during the winter storm. WHAS11 night team's Alexandra Goldberg and photojournalist Emma Gefter are live right now outside that new shelter, the Sojourn Church, Carlisle. Alexandra?
Yep, Doug, I'm standing right in front of the shelter. We're told that there's 3 folks who are spending the night inside and some volunteers. We know that there was a major uproar to make this happen, and a solution was turned around quickly for those who need it.
Cereals for the morning, coffees that gets donated.
This is the Streetery Food Hall in the Beachmont neighborhood.
Yesterday we went through all of it. We got backpacks filled with essential stuff.
A restaurant in Louisville's South End forced to halt its operations as an emergency overnight shelter after being issued this violation by the Louisville Fire Department. It reads, quote, discontinue use as a shelter immediately and remove all cots. This building is not to be used for sleeping.
They trusted us, and I felt like we broke their trust.
In a day's work, a solution. The city secured a permit for an alternative earlier Friday evening.
That's when I had found out about the permit being put in for Sojourn, and thankfully, they were kind enough to say yes, come on, you know.
But at least there's some relief that we can have for the people that are coming into our stores tonight.
Rachel Brown with the South End Street Angels and Streetery owner Young Tran setting up the emergency shelter at Sojourn Church, Carlisle. It's set up in this gym with cots to sleep.
What was happening at the Streetery, I think it brought immediate attention on what we need on this side of town. Because we don't want to displace anybody.
They say a Jeep club is transporting people in the South End to the shelter, and for Friday night, 3 people are sleeping here. Organizer Amanda Mills with the South End Street Angels.
Well, last night, I'm not going to lie, all of us felt defeated. We were scrambling, trying to figure out what the next steps were going to be. But today, I can honestly say the community is backing our efforts.
Well, the big question is, how did this all come together so quickly? We know that there was a major uproar about this, but we were told that 2 council members from Louisville's South End worked with codes and regulations to secure this church as the alternative location for the shelter. Live in the Jacobs neighborhood, Alexandra Goldberg, WHAS 11 Night Team, on your side. Doug.
Alexander, very nice update. A lot of people had concern over this. Well, the Metro Snow Team is still working nonstop to keep the roads clear for Saturday morning. Today, we went to Metro Fleet Services as they were working hard to keep the plow trucks on the road. And then right here, Kevin Gardner and his crew quickly making repairs to get trucks back on the road as soon as possible. Crews are having to work very hard to clear as much of the streets as possible. It's why the mayor yesterday asked people to start moving their cars from Louisville's emergency routes so the plows could get through the roads easier for the weekend. But we found many people just didn't know about it.
I had no idea. I did not hear about this. And even if I did, I can't really get my car to move. So maybe they need to help me out with that one. Pretty bold to ask me to move my car when it's quite struggling to do so without any of the correct tools.
Mayor Craig Greenberg says these emergency snow routes include the most traveled roads, including roads like Frankfort Avenue, Preston Street, and Preston Highway. The mayor's office confirmed today that they're not going to be towing cars from the routes. They just need you to go ahead and move your car. Also new right now on the night team, a travel watch is underway, issued by the state of Indiana for most of our southern Indiana counties. You can see at the bottom of your screen, Floyd, Clark, Jefferson counties, Indiana, but Orange County, which is in the red there, right in your screen on the lower part of this map, they're under a travel warning. Orange County involving Paoli. WHAS 11 Night Team's Clarice Shaley and photojournalist Aspen Hester picking up the story from there. More from New Albany, where the mayor finally responded to days of complaints about New Albany's snow removal. Clarice?
Doug, that's correct. A city Facebook post includes a response from Mayor Jeff Gahan where he is supportive and is very happy with the response by the city for the snow removal. He does add to, with the storm that we have received, some roads will be better than others, and ask for patience. Now, I'm on Main Street. I do want to take a look at the conditions of Main Street now after the second snowfall. They look clear right now, but Mayor Gahan did say that the main roads are the first priority in snow removal. Across southern Indiana, the snow comes down. In New Albany, not all businesses closed because of it.
We do have a few tables coming in before 6 o'clock that have not canceled. They did confirm, so we will just go from there.
The Exchange Pub and Kitchen doing what they can.
About half of our staff is going to stay home and half's going to come in and help out, and we'll just see how it goes.
The city's roads haven't been getting the best rap. As we've shown you all week, residents and businesses are not happy with New Albany's snow removal. For the first time in 3 days of WHAS 11's coverage of the concern, the mayor releases a statement telling people the streets department is focusing on clearing the main roads first and then focusing on secondary roads. New Albany Mayor Jeff Gahan says, quote, "This is the first double-digit snowfall in decades. I am very proud of our street department and the job they are doing. This is not easy work. Please continue to be patient and drive slowly." While plow trucks are on the roads, private companies are working on driveways.
Well, really just wanted to help some people out.
Lanham's Heating and Cooling of Louisville are picking up shovels.
Oh, we've been out since day 2.
The long days are worth it.
The community needs people like us to, get at it. I feel bad that, some people that we worked on, they come and they feel like they're hostage at their own house. So, and it definitely puts a smile on my face to know that we're helping somebody else out.
After almost a week of shoveling, there are some places that have a lot of requests.
New Albany and I-M-Dixie Highway.
More downtown areas where a bunch of people are, houses are close together.
Now, as we were traveling here, there were some slush getting off of the highway. There was some slush on Elm Street as we got off there. Plus, as Aspen and I were traveling throughout the evening, we did take some higher incline hills, and there were some tight turns. Those are the areas you do want to be careful while you're traveling and to travel slowly and cautiously. Live in New Albany, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 Night Team on your side.
Clarice, thank you. I hope things get better for New Albany. They've been very vocal there in southern Indiana about their roads and the conditions. Now's the time to download the free WHAS11 app. You'll get the latest updates from our team of meteorologists from the snowfall, and so you're not caught by surprise with more Arctic air on the way. The app is free, and you'll also get notifications right to your cell phone. More local news new tonight. Attorneys are explaining why they believe the PGA and Valhalla in eastern Jefferson County are responsible for the death of a worker during the PGA Championship back last April. With their action, they said that they're hoping to protect workers in the future. John Mills was hit and killed by a shuttle bus, while crossing Shelbyville Road, US 60, to get to Valhalla during the PGA Championship. He was working security for the event. Employee parking is across the street from Valhalla, forcing employees to cross busy Shelbyville Road. Attorney Chad Gardner of the Gardner Law Firm says organizers should have had more pathways for people to cross the street safely.
I think one of the problems is that it was pitch black. People who have driven through there have commented on how black it was, how dark it was, and it should not have been any surprise that people would be crossing the road, regardless of what they're doing, whether they were coming to play golf or coming to spectate or coming to do something else. And to our knowledge,
the lawsuit argues that with no planned crossing for workers and no lights, the PGA and Valhalla were reckless and negligent. Indiana State Police have now charged a New Albany woman in connection with the shooting of an Orange County, Indiana deputy. State Police say Deputy Zach Andre had stopped to check on a disabled vehicle early on January 3rd. Police say this man, Austin Shepard, shot Andre several times and then fled to a residence on Market Street in New Albany, the same block where a police raid later took place as part of the search for him. Police say Victoria Howard, right here, ordered Shepard's a Lyft ride from her apartment at that location. Shepard's was driven then to Craig Street here in Louisville, just 1 block away from where Shepard's was ultimately found and killed after a shootout with Metro Police on January 4th. Howard is charged with assisting a criminal and false informing. Deputy Andre, by the way, survived the shooting, but he does remain in the hospital in critical condition. Louisville Metro Police tonight are calling it the end of a crime spree. Police have finally caught a man who they say they have been chasing for a month for several counts of theft and burglary. LMPD says on December 10th, this man, Jason McGill, allegedly stole a car and began a crime spree that involved several businesses, several cars, and an 88-year-old woman's home. Police were finally able to catch McGill on Tuesday outside Oxmoor Center in the East End. LMPD says McGill had several guns, drugs, and several stolen items in the car. He's facing a lot of charges, including robbery.